right, so I am only about 5 miles outside of Yellowstone. So it is my first night finally camping in grizzly country. Bo's got to stay on leash, and we've got these bear resistant containers where I'm going to put all my food for the night. So to make sure no bears try and get in my car tonight. They don't even allow regular tents out here. You have to be sleeping in some kind of hard-sided vehicle, just because of the bears. Grizzlies are no joke, man. And you got to be vigilant. My handy bear spray strapped on right here, so it's very accessible, so I can whip it out and use it. I've already tested it out and know how to use it, so if I encountered a grizzly, I'll be prepared. But yeah, the grizzlies are no joke. All right, so I've got all my food, including Bo's dog food, treats, spices, uncooked stuff, which I don't know if that attracts bears or not, the prepackaged meals, condiments, but I'm not gonna take my chances, just to be safe. Last thing I want is an unpleasant surprise with old Grizz trying to get food in my car in the middle of the night. I don't really want that to happen, so just being extra safe. All right, so I just talked to Rod. Hey, Bo. He's leashed, he wants to get out. Don't worry. Shh. I talked to Roger, the camp host, and about the grizzly activity in the area. So he told me there's not been a grizzly sighting in about 2 weeks, but there is a female grizzly that roves right around this area. There was a male, he said, but I think recently they just captured him. But you know, he said what happened was 2 weeks ago. You had a camper that was cooking on one of these little stoves out here, and apparently he was making bratwurst and left some grease from the bratwurst inside of the fire, and so the bear came and was for the grease and from the fire. So even just in something as small as that, you know, they'll come here for it. So, and he said mostly when they come, it's at night, and they'll move stuff around if you don't keep a clean camp, and sometimes they'll mess with your stuff. He said at one point they completely destroyed his satellite dish, a bear did, but left his camper alone, fortunately. He said it makes like a weird clicking noise sometimes, and maybe that's why the bear attacked it. It's not like they smell like food. But normally they just want food. They'll rarely attack a human otherwise, unless, you get in between them and their cubs, or like a kill or something like that. So pretty safe in this camp. Not really much to worry about. There's a chance they could roam around at night, but very highly unlikely they'll try and break into my car, I think. Especially this time of year. They're much more active in the fall before they go into hibernation, the grizzlies, because they're trying to eat a lot. And just talking to him and knowing that there hasn't been much aggressive activity here, it sounds like, other than roaming around, is, it's good to know. So he told me about a nice little hiking trail that goes right along this creek right here. So Bo and I are going to check that out. What do you think, Bo? Is that bear poop or horse poop? I don't know. I think it's horse poop. Going on a little really gorgeous hike right along the Eagle Fork stream. And yeah, I've got my bear spray in one hand and Bo's leash in the other. This fresh water, nice little stream. Gorgeous. Check it out. Does that look like that could be a grizzly track? I know they have long claws. I don't know if it's big enough though. I wonder what kind of poop that is. It's pretty small compared to my foot. Too small to be bear. All right, so we survived our first night with the bears, with the grizzlies. They didn't eat us, thank God. I met a guy who camped right next to me named Roger. He was in a big RV and he came over. I talked to him for probably about 15 minutes, and really good talking to him. Guys from Pacific Northwest in Montana, and he gave me a lot of, just told me about Yellowstone and how I could do the 2 loops and everything. Really nice guy. Basically, it sounds like grizzlies, there's some in Yellowstone, but not many. He's like, the odds of you seeing a grizzly in Yellowstone are actually pretty rare. There's not that many down here. But they have all these signs, out here, watch out for bears, grizzly, grizzly, grizzly. And, part of that, I think, is just because they don't want people to be, they don't want to be liable, if anything happens. And, and what's important is to keep a clean camp, because if you leave stuff out, then eventually that'll attract them and they will start coming to the camp more. If they think there's, a lot of stuff they can get away with. But, it's been a pretty clean camp here. And, generally grizzlies are really only a threat if you get in between them and their kill. If they have like a kill, like food, don't get between them and food, or their cubs. That's like the main concern. Other than that, they're not gonna, even though they're very aggressive and can be very, very dangerous, if you just, leave them to their own thing, they're mostly gonna leave you alone. Bison are actually much more aggressive and will much more likely attack you, than a grizzly would. But yeah, all I have to say, there's so much fear about bears, but and stuff does happen with grizzlies, but mostly, if you kind of keep your sense of bearing about you, and if you carry bear spray, there's not really much you have to worry about, because if you have that on your person and accessible, even if a grizzly, for some freak reason, if you got between it and its prey, charged you, if you have bear spray, it'll stop it if you know how to use it. So I think, I feel pretty comfortable around the grizzlies now. I don't, at least here in Yellowstone, I don't think there's much to worry about, really. It'd be really cool to see one, though. I really would like to see one. They are incredible animals. They're highly intelligent and just so capable and fierce. Very impressive. I would like to see one at some point. Just, I don't want him to, obviously, beat me.